We'll be starting off the front page review with The Nation. Major headline: Tinubu, Labour's constant strike calls unacceptable. The president seeks understanding of reform programs rather than partisan reaction. I love the quote. He said, if you want to directly participate in the electoral process, wait until 2027. If not, maintain the peace. Labour is not the only voice of Nigeria. In other news, restructuring necessary now than ever, says Soyinka. It's time to protect yourself with spiritual powers, Oni tells Obas. Jai's Bank eyes 10 billion from private investors, while Osime and Oshola top pitch award nominees. Then we have the story about Lagos Red Rail Line taking off. President declares legacy project open and 250,000 passengers to commute daily. You can't miss the picture at the declaration process, where we have the president, the governor, the governor of Ondo State, the former governor, rather. We have Baba Gana Zulum, the Prince Dapo Abiodun, former governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode. It was good to see him there as well as the deputy governor. It's a major project, so we should expect that we'll see a lot of governors within Lagos and outside Lagos right there. And what story are we? Is that the story you're taking?
I have the Jai's Bank story.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking at the one where money will come. So Jai's Bank is opening up the progress, the success to other people. They are issuing a 10 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each at 1 naira per share. They are still conforming to their ethics. So it's an ethical banking, Islamic banking, and they're opening up. According to the chairman, they said the private placement was in line with the bank's target to sustain its growth trajectory and ensure it remains well capitalized in line with the capital management strategy. And they're also still looking at, existing investors. They say that they'll be doing a rights issue later this year for that purpose. And I just love the success story of this bank.
It's an Islamic...
Yes, and, people thought it would not stand the test, and it has. Now they're opening up to private investors to increase their capitalization. I'm certainly going to be jumping on this one. We don't know where money will be going before, but now we know.
Yeah. That's a
All
good
right.
one.
So what other story?
Yes, so I have the major headline. President Bola Tinubu yesterday threw a jab at the Nigerian Labour Congress over the union strike. Said they have called for 4 industrial actions against an administration that is barely 9 months old, and it is unacceptable. So he stated this at the unveiling of the phase 1 of the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line at the Ikeja station. And in that, he also declared that the NLC was not the only voice of Nigerians, and if they are interested in politics, they should wait and contest in 2027. But they cannot keep, having this industrial strike when the administration is still very fresh. So he says that he is aware of the complaints being made over the economic challenges in the country, but he's asking Nigerians to persevere, that the nation will soon be out of economic problems. He says, and I quote, "I am assuring that Nigeria will be out of economic problems. We just need to persevere, work hard, and, I am really assuring you that." And he says that he knows that corruption is one of the major reasons the country is facing economic challenges, but he's promised to look back into the fight, and he's fighting against it. He says no going back on reforms and revolution that they are doing in terms of the policies. He knows that smugglers will fight back, corruption will fight back, but we fight and we will win, and corruption will finally go away. And so he's, while at the Red Line, he unveiled it and, said this is a validation of democracy, and also talked about how he was the governor of Lagos State and he was able to do amazing things in Lagos State, and that's the template he's also taking to do amazing things in Nigeria, that we should just be a little bit patient, that all of these policies will begin to work out well for Nigerians.
So let me just flew into the Red Line launch. Sadly, there was a bit of traffic yesterday around Lagos because of it, but it is a good thing because the Red Line, which goes from Agbado to Oyingbo, will be cutting a journey of 2 to 3 hours down by an hour at least. So the president was there, and the president was elated. That was the word, because it was. He said he had initiated the idea in Lagos over 20 years ago, and he's happy to see it come to pass. This administration started the project in 2021, and we're seeing it conclude now. Then the Ogun State governor was there because the Ogun State also wants to take it up. The Ogun State government also wants to take up from Agbado all the way to Abeokuta, which for me is, let's copyright, let's unite in collaborate rights. That's the word, collaboration. So the Ogun State will be following up that project from Agbado all the way to Abeokuta, which would mean that people can actually probably live in Abeokuta and be able to work conveniently in Lagos.
That's even putting it nicely.
Train.
So the progress, all the developments in Lagos have always encouraged property in Ogun State. So
yeah. So the bus, the train would carry at least 250,000 people per day.
Wow.
Huge.
That's a huge number.
So you can live anywhere.
Yeah, and work anywhere. So you have a story too.
Yes. One story that, pops up for me is the Oni, talking to the Southwest monarchs and encouraging them to utilize spiritual powers. Now, this comes, you laugh. This comes on the background of the attacks that we have seen recently, against traditional rulers and obas of different communities. Now, the Oni said in a recent conference that he had, he warned traditional rulers who are not interested in supernatural powers to vacate their throne. It's that serious. He urges them to use supernatural powers in protecting themselves and their territories against these attacks. Now, also to support that, he also stated, and they also agreed and put out a communique where they said that they are now going to empower the Amotekun Corps more with better motivation, finance, training, and of course, even help in recruiting more personnel for the Amotekun.
Spiritual power, is it Christian or...
I wanted to ask.
Which kind of question?
That's where
powers are we going for now?
What kind of question is that?
Which of the powers?
Story I was saying in my mind, where are the day?
Yes.
So most of them are Christians. So which powers?
Yes,
now?
exactly.
Is it the
So now,
Jesus
African power?
No.
Okay.
So these are traditional rulers. These are traditional
But they're
rulers.
Christians.
Obviously,
Most of
the
them are
powers
Christians.
in question.
Muslims.
The powers in question is traditional powers.
No, they
Okay,
can't
we
mix
shall
it.
wait and see. The
Go
Punch.
shock you. Jollof.
The major headline in Punch is Punch at 50. They're celebrating themselves. Past confab deceitful. Nigeria must decentralize, says Shoyinka. The Nobel laureate says that the past confab organizers are not serious and Nigeria must negotiate their unity. In other news, Reps raised 23-man panel on Oronsanye reports and demand review. Customs sees 1.7 billion naira fake drugs in Oyo, Oshun. Then the federal government pays 120 million from gas debts as blackout spreads. Obviously, we're all feeling the pinch. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the front page review. Stay with us, be right back.